What's going on, everybody? Joshua Cook back here in the Athletic Director's Corner on VYPE Media, now joined by St. Pius, the 10th Athletic Director, Jeff Feller. Well, Jeff, first, how are you and your family and loved ones doing right now during this kind of crazy quarantine time that we're under?
We're blessed. We're healthy. We have jobs still, so that's definitely good. I know a lot of people are going through some tough times right now. It's definitely a new normal. We have two kids, so my wife's really been working hard with the homeschool. She set up my office just in time, so I'm able to kind of get in here and grind out some work. But it's definitely a new normal, but we are blessed to continue to have our jobs and continue to do what we do, just in a different capacity.
How has that been going for your coaches, who are also teachers in St. Pius at 10th High School? How are they handling this new kind of norm of continuing the education train moving forward while the athletics part has been kind of put on hold?
Yeah, I mean, so we all had to do, basically we're doing virtual classes right now. So for those coaches that teach, they had to learn that new skill, which is great to learn it, because now, although it was uncomfortable for a little bit, moving forward, there's going to be this whole new use of technology and ability that, we might have not been able to do in terms of reaching with our student athletes before. So from a class load, they've been learning that and how to use Microsoft Teams, which is similar to Zoom, having virtual classes. From an athletic standpoint, we've tried to do a few things, but mainly for the coaches, it's just trying to Zoom calls, touching base with them, keeping them motivated, keeping them working out, because we never know when this is going to end, and we want to be sure that if and when it does end, we're going to be ready to roll. So it's mainly just that day-to-day communication, however it is. That's what I've been really encouraging the coaches to do with their athletes.
I know the biggest focus this spring has been about the seniors, because with NCAA, they canceled spring sports, but they're like, hey, seniors, will do another year. You can't really do that with high school athletics to say, hey, we'll bring you back next year for your senior year. What has been your message to the seniors? Because I know this has probably been the hardest part for them, is you just expect in your senior year to have the senior night, to get to play one more playoff game, to try to make a run at a state championship one more time.
Yeah.
What's been your message to them?
I mean, I think it's like anything with an athlete. You're going to face adversity, and to kind of, like I say, overcome, adapt, and achieve, and to kind of get through it. And it's not necessarily the last time you're going to pick up a bat, or the cross stick, or whatever the sport may be. But we have started doing some things, just walk the walk Wednesdays, trying to highlight some athletes via social media. Whether they're doing good stuff on the field, in the community, in the classroom, but to get them out there, to celebrate them still. We're also going to do a virtual signing day, as well as senior nights virtually. Not sure exactly how it's gonna roll out, but I'm working with Khadijah, sports information director, to figure out something like that. So we still are going to honor and celebrate them. I think in terms of, hey, maybe they didn't have plans of playing in college. It's just going to be my senior year, It's been tough, but we just try to encourage them, and there's more to the individual than just that sport. So it's kind of a life lesson, what happens when you have tough situations and you have to overcome obstacles. And really the coaches have been doing a great job in connecting with them and encouraging them. So
another thing that y'all have been doing, we wrote an article about it earlier this week on VYPE.com about Be the Light campaign. Y'all are turning the lights on at Kubiak Stadium every night from 8 to 9 o'clock. I saw y'all did it for the seniors to honor them as well. You mentioned in that article, it's kind of hope for not just the students, but for the community, just to see the lights on that sports are, the quote I like the most is, sports are on hold, but this is kind of showing hope that they'll come back at some point. Just talk about that a little bit more, and just turning on y'all's lights to kind of give hope for the community.
Yeah, I think it's just saying, hey, we'll be back. We'll be back. We haven't forgotten. This is tough time, but we're going to get back to you guys coming down on Friday nights or Tuesday nights or Thursday nights or Wednesday nights. I mean, we got sports going on every night of the week. So it's just our message to say, hey, look, we recognize that there's tough times now. We recognize that it's beyond sports, but sports brings people together. And by turning on those lights, it's connecting us to the community and saying, regardless of what you're going through now, we're going to get back to it. Whether that be coming to the games or just them in their normalcy of life and how it was before this, we're going to get back. And that's really what those lights represent.
if unfortunately the spring sports do not come back, this would be my only request for the first St. Pius X football game next year. I mean, you're going to be ready for that, right? I mean, there's going to be like pyrotechnics. We're going to have fireworks going.
Yeah.
It'll look like the Super Bowl entrance, right?
Yeah, there's yeah, I mean we're gonna do a lot. I've already had some foresight in terms of what if spring sports don't come back and what can we do in the fall just to celebrate them. Whether it be just an inter squad scrimmage with the community get together or whatever it may be, I think it could be a cool little, community kickoff per se and welcome back to get a scrimmage to when we, do something for the football and volleyball and the fall sports and the cross country to include those spring sports, just to kind of bring us back on together. So I've had some foresight how that might look. I'm not sure, but we definitely want to do something.
I'm always a fan of fireworks. Anytime there's fireworks, pyrotechnics, I always like.
Can we have fireworks in the city of Houston? If we could, that would be great.
I mean, you could probably call somebody. We could call somebody. We can make some calls.
Yeah, definitely, man.
What outside of working on your athletic stuff and the school stuff, what have you been? I know everybody's watching Netflix and watching old sports games right now. Is there like a game you turned on? And are you excited about The Last Dance coming up this Sunday on ESPN? Now, shameless plug there to the Michael Jordan and the Bulls feature coming up.
Yeah, well, I watched last year's SEC softball championship yesterday. so
right.
that was that. Well, we're a big softball family. So my wife was a standout collegiate athlete in softball, and my daughter plays. So we're big into softball. So we're going through a little bit of withdrawal when it comes to that. So we were watching the SEC championship just because it was on. But honestly, man, I've been getting outside doing a lot of yard work. I remulched my front yard, and the mulch did a lot of fertilize and all that kind of stuff that you don't typically have time to do during the year, but been able to get outdoors. My son's been riding his bike a lot. So even though we've been stuck, quote, indoors, so to speak, we've been doing our due diligence to get outdoors and stay active. So beyond watching every show on Netflix and homeschooling and doing work, we've kind of been outside. So it's been good.
So I would assume that the Feller household was quite disappointed that the Olympics were pushed back since softball was going to make its valiant return to the Olympics this year.
Yeah. It's tough, but we'll get there. We're missing softball, but it'll be all right. We'll get back.
Finally, before we let you go, what's your message to anyone in the St. Pius X community, an athlete, a teacher, a coach, a parent watching this? What's your message to them right now as they're sitting at home kind of working through this?
I mean, I think number one is we love them, right? They're part of the St. Pius community. They're Panthers. We love them. We're always going to be there to them, encourage them. If they are having trouble in terms of getting through this, reach out to your coach, reach out to me, reach out to your teacher. We're always here, and the reality is we're going to get through this. We're learning as we go, and we're going to get through this. And when we do, we're going to be stronger on the other side. And I think that's the main message. But we're in this together.
All right, he is Jeff Feller. He is the athletic director of St. Pius X High School. I can't wait to see. Maybe you'll post some pictures of yard. I think there needs to be a yard competition between the coaches and athletic directors. That's actually
a good idea.
I think everybody's yard's going to look amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Jeff. We appreciate the time, and we wish you and the St. Pius X family the best right now. And we can't wait to see the Panther black and orange running back out into a field somewhere sometime soon.
Tell you what, me too, man. I missed it. But thanks, buddy. I really appreciate your time and everything VYPE does. You guys are awesome.